The sun dips below the horizon for the final time this year, welcoming the long polar night. A 6-month siege of ice, gale-force winds, and temperatures that plunge past -50 degrees takes hold. Here, survival is not a matter of simple endurance, but of profound, elemental transformation. As darkness claims the landscape, the true test of the high Arctic begins for its resilient inhabitants. The wilderness appears empty and devoid of life, yet unseen forces move beneath the frozen crust. Every square inch of this frozen realm is governed by harsh physics and evolutionary perfection. Winds howl across the barrens, with enough force to strip bare rock clean of any lingering moisture. The terrain transforms daily, sculpted by freezing gales into labyrinthine waves of white ice. Cold is not merely a condition here. It is an active architecture, shaping every living form. Beneath this quiet veneer, a fierce biological drama unfolds away from human eyes. The mountains stand like silent sentinels, guarding the secrets of the northern winter. As the night deepens, the first true masters of this frozen theater prepare to hunt. Beneath the windswept surface lies a hidden world, completely insulated from the bitter air above. The Arctic fox relies on acute hearing to detect sub-nivean movement hidden beneath feet of ice. Its ears act like parabolic dishes, pinpointing the exact location of voles and lemmings scurrying in the dark. With calculated precision, the predator locks onto its target through layers of compacted powder. A sudden, acrobatic plunge headfirst into the snow breaks the silence of the tundra. The hunt concludes in a cloud of white dust, showcasing nature's precision in a hostile world. Every meal is a hard-won victory, essential for maintaining the core body heat required to survive. For hours on end, it patrols the perimeter of its territory, checking every drift for hidden life. Its heavily furred footpads act like natural snowshoes, distributing weight evenly across fragile crusts. When rest is necessary, the tail serves as a thermal blanket, trapping warm exhaled breath. Hours pass in total stillness, while the planetary clock ticks on beneath the frozen stars. Refreshed and vigilant, the small hunter resumes its lonely patrol across the endless white. Its domain extends across miles of shifting ice floes and treacherous frozen coastlines. Scents carry strangely in the polar cold, offering clues to distant carrion left by polar bears. Agility and keen instincts are the sole currency of survival in this uncompromising realm. With every step, it defies the lethal boundary conditions imposed by the deep winter. Watched over by dancing northern lights, the terrestrial hunter continues its tireless journey. Yet, terrestrial life is only one facet of the Arctic winter's complex ecological web. High above the ground, another specialized hunter rules. They rule the upper tiers of the frozen atmosphere. The snowy owl sits in absolute command of the frozen northern wastes. Unlike most nocturnal raptors, it hunts in broad daylight, or what passes for it during the dim polar twilight. Its feathers are specially adapted for soundless flight, turning the apex predator into a silent ghost. It skims the contours of the landscape, utilizing micro-air currents deflected off snow dunes to conserve energy. Its field of vision is vast, capable of detecting the smallest motion against the glaring white background. Navigating sudden turbulence with effortless grace, the owl masters the fierce polar winds. Thick feathered leggings protect its feet from frostbite, even when perched on exposed ice. Hovering over a suspected sub-nivean hotspot, it pauses to verify its target's exact position. A lightning-fast descent shatters the stillness as heavy talons pierce the icy crust. Success is swift and efficient, securing vital energy in the unforgiving cold. It carries its prize away from competing scavengers to a safe feeding post. Perched securely out of the biting wind, it consumes its prey with clinical efficiency. These eyes have witnessed millennia of climatic shifts across the northern frontier. With digestion underway, the apex avian hunter resumes its endless aerial patrol. It uses minimal effort to soar across vast distances of frozen wilderness. A true ghost of the wind, leaving no footprint and making not a single sound. As the winged hunter vanishes into the twilight, the focus shifts to life on the ground. Down in the sheltered valleys, massive herbivores face a different kind of winter challenge. Sustenance is buried deep beneath meters of hard-packed snow, requiring immense strength to uncover. The muskox, an ancient survivor from the Pleistocene epoch, faces the freezing gales with an attitude of unyielding stubbornness. Their wool, known as kivyut, is 8 times warmer than sheep's wool, forming an impenetrable barrier against sub-zero winds. When threatened or overwhelmed by the fierce weather, they form a defensive fortress, protecting their calves at the center. This ancient defensive ring has successfully repelled predators and harsh blizzards for hundreds of thousands of years. Calves learn early that unity is the ultimate key to outlasting the merciless polar winter. Beneath the frozen crust lies their only sustenance: dry, dormant Arctic sedges and lichens. Unearthing food requires immense energy, forcing a delicate balance between calorie expenditure and intake. They march across the frozen tundra in a slow, deliberate rhythm, guided by ancestral memory. Every step is calculated to conserve the precious fat reserves built up during the brief summer thaw. As the winds intensify into a sudden ground blizzard, the herd stands shoulder to shoulder once more, weathering the storm together. Blizzards can rage for days on end, turning the high Arctic into a blinding, monochromatic wasteland. Farther north, where land meets the open ocean, the dramatic theater of winter reaches its absolute climax. The undisputed king of the ice roams across infinite frozen seas in search of its primary prey. With a sense of smell capable of detecting a seal, breathing through a tiny hole miles away, nothing escapes its notice. Broad, fur-lined paws act like natural crampons, preventing slips on treacherous, salt-encrusted ice sheets. Patience is the ultimate weapon of the marine hunter, sometimes waiting in total stillness for hours. A single ringed seal surfacing for air represents the vital calorie intake needed to survive the freezing expanse. When the moment arrives, explosive power shatters the ice in a fraction of a second. The hunt is frequently unsuccessful, testing the resilience of even the most experienced apex predator. Undeterred, the wanderer continues its endless march across the shifting frozen ocean. Capable of swimming for miles in sub-zero seas, they bridge the gaps between fragmented hunting grounds. Water rolls instantly off its oily fur, preventing deadly ice accumulation in the bitter air. Beneath the magical canopy of the Northern Lights, the primordial struggle for existence continues unabated. It is a ghost of the ice, perfectly evolved for a world that pushes life to its absolute limits. After months of unbroken darkness, a subtle shift hints at the distant, agonizingly slow return of the sun. The first hint of dawn sparks an instinctive awakening across the frozen wilderness. Light creeps slowly down the mountain slopes, breaking the long dominion of the polar night. Temperatures remain dangerously low, but the cycle of renewal has officially begun. The avian rulers of the sky ride the changing winds into a new season of promise. Having conquered the worst the planet has to offer, the northern herds step forward into the light. New life waits patiently beneath the snowpack, ready to emerge into a transformed landscape. Endurance gives way to growth, as the resilient tundra prepares for its fleeting summer bloom. The Great Freeze slowly loosens its iron grip on land and sea alike. The shifting ice fields mark both an end and a beginning for the nomadic giants of the north. Every melting crystal tells a story of survival, tenacity, and biological perfection. They have weathered the ultimate test of nature through unity, instinct, and raw power. Until the dark winter returns, the nomads of the frost rule their magnificent kingdom. This is a realm where life refuses to yield, carving its legacy into the ice. A testament to the enduring spirit of survival at the top of the world. In the heart of the frost, life always finds a way forward.